Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon if you're watching this as a video. Hi, this is Adam of the Medium channel, bringing you the spirituality behind the message. And in this video, we're going to talk about five or six, I think, no, five, five important things to know for this upcoming new moon. That's going to be Monday morning. I think it's 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, here this coming Monday on the 30th. So so we're going to talk about five things that we need to know for our personal growth, for what's going on in the world and how that affects us and stuff like that. So I'm going to just say I'll start in just a minute. I just want to give the live people a minute or two to come in first. So sometimes it takes a few minutes for them to get their notification. So just a couple of quick hellos, and we'll be right back. So hello, Susan and Suzette and Angelo and Michael and Doreen and Love Is. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. We need love. So Love Is, yes, thank you. The conversation. I don't get to talk to too many people, just animals. Yeah. Well, I talk to trees. So I do that. And it was worth waiting for. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm about 5 minutes late. Sorry about, oh my God. How many comments did I miss? All right. Okay. All right. Let's get started. I need some water. Beautiful day, very spring-like, about 70, clouds and sun, typical Catskills spring May weather that we had today. So I'm in a good mood. Got lots to talk about. So firstly, most of what I'm drawing on, I do, a lot of you know that I channel and do mediumship and stuff like that. So I start out with what spirit is giving me, but I also do a little bit of research. So I have to say that the astrological, numerological information that I'm going to provide, most of it's from Sharita Starr. She's kind of been my teacher on this journey of how to kind of blend numerology and astrology. But also Pam Gregory is a fabulous astrologer that I watch on YouTube. And oh my God, what's the other woman's name? Braca. I forgot her last name. Oh my God. Anyway, Braca is Braca Goldsmith. Thank you. So those are my sources for the empirical information I'm going to provide. So number one, first thing is finish what you start. So again, the new moon, let me back up a second. New moon energy, basically it's about new beginning. It's the new lunar cycle. And what happens on an astrological, numerological, and energetic level right on the new moon affects that entire lunar cycle. So whatever the astrology is, it affects that. Now, what you guys want to do is understand how the aspects are affecting your personal astrology. What I'm giving here is more universal astrology, how it's going to be affecting us as a planet, as a unit, as a whole. But find out where, like Aries is a major player. Obviously, Gemini is a major player also. So find out where those fall in your chart. And if you don't have access to that, well, and in the comments when this becomes a video, I'll share with you I'll share with you Sharita Starr's information, and she can do a session with you. So new moon is at 3 degrees Gemini. Gemini is Mercury ruled. Mercury's in retrograde, so that definitely plays into the energy. 3 degrees, the degree point, or is it 4 degrees? Wait a second. I'm getting this messed up. Hold on a second. It's 9 degrees. I'm sorry. 9 degrees Gemini. So that 9 degree, that's Mars ruled. So we want to see what Mars is doing also, and how that's affecting. So these are a couple of the little kind of parameters that we work with in astrology and numerology to kind of get an idea. Like I said, a lot of this is downloaded. So number one is finish what you started. So Mercury's in retrograde. The moon is in Gemini. That's a Mercury ruled sign. So that places more focus on the planet Gemini. When Mercury's in retrograde, we review. That's the RE prefix. So it's all new moons are about new beginning. You can definitely, doesn't matter if Mercury's retrograde or not, you can initiate new beginnings, but work with those energies. And we want to review Mercury retrograde will bring up the past also. Now, the new moon being at 9 degrees, the 9 degree point places focus on completions, because the number 9 completes the numerological cycle. I'm sorry, I'm not really Pam Gregory is excellent. Yes, Rocket Goldsmith is good. Yes, thank you. Yes, thanks for providing that, Michael, for us. I'm going to try not to look too much at the comments, and I'm going to lose my train of thought, which is on a thin thread today. I must admit that, and it must be hitting my personal astrology in a strange way. But anyway, all new moons are about new beginnings. Now, 9 degrees though is about completions. That's 9, and it's Mars ruled in numerology. So this is part of the astrological numerological reason why they're saying finish what you started. Yeah, Mars is going to be a really big player. Mars is in Aries. Aries is the initiator, and it's conjuncting Jupiter, the expander, and Gemini is of the mind. So you'll get plenty of new ideas. And yeah, I'm reading my notes. Yes, and energy towards spirituality, learning, growth, and expansion. Um, so the Mercury retrograde really is very good for planning. There's different forces at play, because Aries is initiating energy, Mars is initiating energy, but Mercury, which is the biggest player of this new moon, other than the moon and the sun themselves, which are obviously conjunct on a new moon, really plays in. So honor the Mercury retrograde. This is a good time for inner work, for inner exploration, for healing, for clearing. So the first thing to know about this new moon during this 29 to 30-day cycle of the moon is finish what you started, or finish things that you started in the past, pick it up again. So that's number one. Number two is patience, patience, and more patience. Take your time, stay focused. There's a lot of Gemini energy in the air. Mercury's retrograde. But let me go back to my notes here. But there's the combination with Mars and Jupiter is in the not so patient sign of Aries also, which is Mars rules. And as we explained, Mars is one of the big players here in this whole thing. So Jupiter is also sextiling Neptune. So Jupiter's about expansion. Neptune is very good about like higher mind stuff. Um, it's an imagination, but it can be delusional, and it can do stuff like that. So this is really a great time for spiritual growth. Um, but you have to watch your influencer. So this is part of that Neptune, delusional stuff. Be aware of things like false prophets. Watch, the people that are the influencers, or your teachers and stuff like that as well. But you want to, in this lunar cycle, you want to maintain your patience, because even though Mercury's going to go direct on the 3rd of June, so that's fairly early on in the cycle, we're still going to carry some of that energy of Mercury retrograde. For one, it stays in its shadow for another 16 days or so. And two, the lunar cycle starts on the retrograde. So take your time, be patient. It's all good. So number 3 is that discipline will be on high display. So our force of discipline, our force of will is going to be very strong under this new moon. Now, a couple of reasons for that on an astrological, numerological level is that one, we're still in an 11 universal month. We're going to go into a 12 universal month in 2 days after the new moon, but it starts in that 11. 11 in Chaldean numerology is the lion's muscles with clenched fists. Basically, one of the interpretations of that is overcoming the lower forces, like taming the lion, so to speak. So this is an indication. 11 is a very spiritual number. This is an indication that we have extra power available to us to overcome things like addictions or bad habits, and our discipline is going to tend to run very, very strong. So utilize that. Also, the Mercury retrograde is going to square Saturn, the planet of discipline. And of course, Mercury's in retrograde again. So even though squares tend to be hard aspects and create challenges, they also benefit one another. So this is a really good time to go inward and to commit to your spiritual practice. You have this lunar cycle, you have the universe behind you, in committing to a new practice, to committing to like weight loss or exercise or ending bad habits or whatever it is. Discipline is on high display. Yoga would be another good idea. All right, so that was number 3, right? So number 4, there's a return to youth that comes up with the energies of this new moon. And I was just kind of feeling like, as I was getting information, to say something about, turning back the hands of time. That's kind of what came to me. And then I'm looking at some of the empirical data around that, and Gemini and Aries are very youthful signs. In fact, if you know any Aries people, there's a very good chance they never really grow up. I mean, that doesn't mean that they're irresponsible or don't hold a job or don't function in society. But my dad, who died 5 days short of his 90th birthday, who's an Aries, right in the middle of the sign, I might add. So right in the middle, he was always a child at heart, always. And even at age 89, he looked good. He looked more like he was 70 than 89. And he had a lot of health issues leading up to that for years and years and years. So Mercury did retrograde, so that's another thing about retrograde, goes backwards. So, Mercury can help to turn back the hands of time that way also. So it's very rejuvenating energy. Pluto also trines, the main players. And I didn't write down which one that is. But either Mercury or Mars. Is Sharita here? Help, Sharita, where are you? Okay. And anyways, that's just again some empirical data. The other side of that, I mean, this can be very rejuvenating. Do something, to help reverse the aging or slow the aging process down. Heart brain coherence practice does that by when you do that practice and you do it diligently, it actually affects the telomeres of the chromosomes, and then slows down or even reverses the aging process that way. So and it's also good to work through childhood issues. So there's an emphasis on youthfulness with this particular new moon. All Gemini new moons will have some of that qualities, but there's other things going on that accentuates that. And number 5 is, this is going to be a big season of Earth changes. Not like the last 2, 3, or 4 years have not been big years, but keep that in mind. Now Uranus, and this is according to oh my God, what's her name? Pam Gregory. That I have to read my notes. The Uranus is in the world axis point, and it's forming a hard aspect to the Aries point, which is basically 0 degrees Aries, or 0 degrees of the cardinal sign. I think it's a semi-square. I believe that's the aspect, because Uranus is right in the middle of Taurus, which also is about money and world affairs. Now, understand, Uranus brings in sudden change, revolutionary ideas, and stuff like that. So also keep in mind, the Earth is still resetting after this big, powerful eclipse season that we had. Um, and I've been feeling this for a while. In fact, it's in my 2022 yearly predictions that I did in December. I in the report, it was July, but it could be June, it could be August. But I was feeling really strong a change of world leaders. I was queuing maybe on Biden, but the way things are playing out, I think Biden still has a little bit more time. I mean, yeah, he's on life support, not literally. Um, but it's probably not going to be him at this point. It might be, but keep an eye on like Putin. Keep an eye on the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau, and maybe other world leaders. But change of world leaders is likely. And there's a funny thing, and again, this is from Pam's channel also, that Mercury is going to be conjuncting a fixed star called Algo at 26 degrees Gemini. Now, 26 degrees is a Saturn ruled degree point, and Saturn is often about the structures in society. But the thing about Algo is that Algo has the reputation of being the decapitator. So it's kind of like losing a head of state, so to speak, and stuff like that. The 26 version of 8, because 26 reduces to an 8, has a very tower-like effect. So it's a very intense degree point, and there's other things that are showing that. Now, another thing is because a lot of energy shifting from Pisces, which is water, and while Pisces was very active, I don't know if you guys saw what was going on in Australia, but it was frightening. The degree of flooding that was going there, and in many places in the world. That will start to shift to fire. So we've already had some active fires already. Expect that to pick up in June and in the summer. I mean, it usually does, at least here in the United States, but all that fire energy and Uranus really affecting the earth, you're creating that kind of volatility. So earthquakes, all that stuff is certainly fair game. Weird weather and all that stuff. And so that's basically what I have for today. Didn't want to make today's too long, but that's basically what I have. If you logged on late, definitely go back in the beginning. So the main thing for us, again, utilize our discipline. Really, this is time to go within. It's good to have maybe an inner vision very clear in your mind of what it is that you want to create, this month and beyond. It's again, a better moon for planning than actual action. But Aries is very active and Mars is very active, and that's an initiator. So it can kind of work both ways in that aspect. But it's really very powerful for planning, for developing the mind, developing your spirituality, and coming up with a game plan. And certainly, find the right balance, find the and all that. But that's basically what I have for you today. So we're going to end for now. Thank you, everybody. Oh, by the way, we just released a new video. If you're not getting clear signs from your loved ones in spirit, watch the video that we uploaded just like less than an hour ago on the channel. So it's hot off the press. So you can go back to the channel and watch that. And like I said, I'll on the pinned comments, I'll post a couple of videos for you that you can check out too. So anyway, thanks again. I love you. I'll see you at the next video. Good night, everybody.